All right, everybody. This is episode 6, Tour Talk, Capital City Amateur Tour. I'm Jacob Bridges, your tour director, coming at you. All right, so got a good lineup today. It's Wednesday, May 27th. Going one-on-one. This is one-on-one with you guys. You're out there watching. This is a recorded session. Like I said, I got a good lineup. We'll get right into that. If anyone does enter this room, they'll be muted upon entry, and the session is recorded. You can watch it at your personal leisure. We're going to keep it under 45 minutes. Here we go. That's kind of the intro there. Welcome you all. Once again, I'm Jacob Bridges, the tour director for the Capital City Amateur Tour. Self-proclaimed #1 amateur golf tour in the greater Columbus and Central Ohio area. Got a lineup of topics here. We're going to go over a recap, basically the tour talks that we've had. I'm here each and every Wednesday at 7 o'clock, and also conducting these sessions the day before our event and the day following with the theme of Cart Ready and a trophy and award. We're going to kind of quickly just go over our recent tournament we had on May 24th at Shaker Run. As you see the lineup there, self-explanatory. We'll run down it. Next on the tee is our Zanesville Country Club, the event where we combine our event where we have our first 4 local majors on the schedule. We're double Capital City points, and we'll kind of look at where the standings are and how those points are awarded for this upcoming event. After that, we turn quickly right around the Pinnacle Golf Club on June 22nd, which will be, again, the leg 2 of 3 in our Ohio Ryder Cup series, a joint event that I think will be highly attended, not only because combining ourselves with the Queen City Amateur Tour, but basically the shape and makeup of how the state of Ohio and golf course operators are now able to conduct tournaments, allowing 2 persons in a cart. We'll get into an open forum here. We'll kind of go a couple ways, mentioning what the upcoming handicap revision, which is going to occur on the 2nd of the month. And kind of go back over something willing to get shared on where we had a giveaway over the weekend, just yesterday announcing our winners. We'll kind of touch on that. And then we'll finish up with why it's important to enter tournament, sign up early, and how you can do that. So again, on with our recap. Our event at Shaker Run, the results are posted. And when I say posted, they are they appear inside that web link that you can find in 2 places. First among them is on the website that you will find in the About section of the Facebook tour page. Again, it's a file share, it's a document, it's an Excel database. It navigates and works just like a website. It's a link between me and you, and it has all things inside. Information about the event that's on the schedule, how much, how to pay, when to pay by, about the tour, where you can find the handicap, standings, results, statistics, all things, man. It's pretty neat. Ask you guys to go out there and check it out. But then also the other way you can find it is if I send you the link and just rename, what it actually is when you are welcomed onto the tour. So there's 2 places. One, again, you can bookmark it to your web browser when you actually land on the page. And again, that's the Facebook tour page. Or you can actually keep the email handy that I send to you that includes the link URL. So back again, pardon me. We had 95 players at Shaker Run. The course statistics, I certainly haven't been able to update that information. We had 9 champions. As far as our flight champions, the Capital City point standings, and Ohio Ryder Cup, my God, we got waxed. We got waxed. Again, we went head-to-head with Queen City. It was they were hosting, so they were familiar with the course. We were outnumbered 3-1 out of 95 players, so we really only had a contingent of about 30 players appearing in this event. And of the 9 flights, Queen City player won all of them. So when I say they lead 9-0, that's how they got 9 points. The flight winner representing whichever tour earns that point. And our next event in this kind of makeup is, again, Pinnacle. So in order for us to, what's the prize, right? So if we get the most points at the conclusion of the Pinnacle Golf Club event on June 22nd, we end up hosting the site for where our Ryder Cup championship will be held in the fall. So certainly not looking good, but they haven't won it yet. And by all means, there's nothing to win. It's just a matter of hosting. So we'll get right into where those results are located. As far as the Shaker Run event, so what I did here was I just kind of clicked on the link that kind of pops open where all this information is located. As I just announced previously, it opens up a file share document. Now I'm using this from my desktop, so certainly it functions, the cookies are enabled, and all the buttons work. So when I say the result here, you can kind of click on this tab and then head yourself right on over to the Shaker Golf Club event. And what you'll see next is all the results and scores, hole by hole in total, where you placed and how you finished. And then if you were a Columbus or a Capital City amateur tour player, you earn Capital City points. So again, you don't have to navigate all that, but most importantly, this information is out here for you to look at. You can do a few things. You know, you can do a peer-to-peer review. You can actually look back on your round. You know, as a Shaker Run event, it was held on, you know, Shaker Run has 3 nines. So most of us played the Lakeside to Meadows, and then the others played the Woodlands to Lakeside format. So yeah, that information's out here as far as the results. So if we click on over ourselves to the standings, we will land on the Capital City point standings. And again, these are points earned by Capital City tour players. And right now, these two have been updated, and kind of see what position you were in as we head into our first event that's worth double points. And you can kind of see here, we're looking at the Palmer flight, and it's identified here, but the points are worth twice as many as the standard value. So how are the points earned? Okay, so as you're navigating through here, you quickly find that this is the Capital City Amateur point system. For those watching here, let me kind of zoom and blow this up a little bit. So for local events that are non-majors, this is the kind of the standard value here. If it's a local major tournament worth 2 times the points, this is kind of how much those points are worth. And then again, our local major, if it's worth 4 times. So you kind of see that off here into the center, which point on our schedule is worth those double and quadruple points. So at the conclusion of our tour championship, that's how we award our Capital City champion. All right. So we'll take that down, minimize it. We went over the Capital City point standings, again, the Ohio Ryder Cup. Let's go on to what's next on the tee. All right, so next on the tee is Zanesville Country Club. It's, again, our 3rd event on the season. It's the first of 4 local majors. I mentioned that already. Currently, registration is now open. As I'm talking to you, we have 46 signups, and the field max has been determined at 72. And why that's important there, you know, we certainly have easily 2 weeks until registration closes on June 9th. It's important for you to sign up early, and I'll touch it again down here to finish, but why it's important to sign up early is because if you kind of look over the years, in 2016 and 2017, 18, this event has had well over, you see here, the low number was 77, and the high number was 114 players. Field max is at 72. So this is certainly, based on numbers alone, going to sell out, and we're over 2 weeks away from event. And, you know, we're inside of, what, 16 members as far as reaching a waiting list. So did I do the math right there? Yeah, 16? No, 26. Yeah, 26 members from signups from being a waiting list. So, again, the entry here is $115, straight tees, unlimited stroke play, flight at baseball handicap. Right now, practice rounds still to be determined. I've not received an update from the course yet, but I'm awaiting a reply. And once I have an update, I'll certainly share that information. So our tee times will be beginning at 10 or 11 o'clock, and they'll run all the way to 3. So once again, I kind of want to hop on over here and kind of show you. So if you click on that web link, again, it launched the tour database, and I want to help navigate your way to there. So once you click on schedule events, this is kind of the whole season as it flashes in front of you right here down at Zanesville Country Club. Again, those 46 signups, 56 carts, field max is 72 if we can put 2 in a cart with a single rider and a threesome. So you click in on that, it launches the event page. This is where everything's at. And if you want to know, again, I'm just only repeating what's right here. So if you don't like to read, I'm talking to you as to what's inside. Again, we're currently inside the registration window, which tells you when it closes, what the format is right here. If you are entered into the event and your question is what tees am I playing from? You'll see that information here. Let's say you're not in the event yet, but you're interested. How do I sign up? How do I secure a spot? Well, it's highlighted right here for you. This kind of helps stand out what do you need to do and how you need to do it. You got 3 pay options out there, which is Zelle, Google Pay, and also now PayPal with the option of friends and family. Be sure you select friends and family, as we want to avoid incurring transaction fee. So again, schedule events. The start time is at 11 a.m. Cancellation policy. Listen, there's no fee if you cancel before the registration closes, which for every event on the Capital City Amateur Tour is 4 days before tournament day. So you certainly have time, but if you're trying to figure out your plans, it's best you just sign up now, and then if you have to cancel, you just cancel before registration closes, and you get your 100% refund. So if you're interested in the optional side games, which many of you are, that information is listed out here. If you're kind of lost sight as to what flight you're in and how many players, I kind of just recently today, I kind of popped that picture in here to kind of show you what the parameters for each flight is. And then right here, here's a projected prize pool. So right now, this is pretty cool. So right now it's 46 players, right? The prize pool you see here is based off of a 44 number, which is manual. So there's a feature out of this. I kind of tell you, you guys don't see the clockwork that's going on here, but if I was able to, add a player to this event, let's see if we can do it on here. I don't think it'll let me. Oh no, I'm signed in. So listen, so let's say we want to add a player. Let's add a blank player to the senior Sneed flight here, and we can watch this number 3. It should change. Let's go on down here. Where you at? Senior Saracen. All right. Nope. Can't do it. It's protected. So won't let me do it. But I was going to show you that once you toggle that, it's actually automated. The senior Sneed would change to 4. The total field would change to 47. How it works on the schedule event pages, it's a counter. This would go to 47. It's pretty fluid, man, if I was able to show you that clockwork. And the same occurs if you entered in any optional side games. There's a formula over here, which kind of behind the curtain. Once I put an X right here, these numbers will change. Actually, if I were able to do this, let's not talk hypothetical. Let's kind of get it going here. So I'll continue to press on with the presentation, and then I'll be able to launch that and kind of walk you through how it works. So we'll press on, and then we'll circle back around on how to get to this database, and we can kind of jump back into how that happens. So again, shootout at our Zanesville Country Club. It's themed that way because it's a double pointed event. Sign up early, get going, because again, these numbers right here would only tell you that this will reach a full field in the coming days ahead. All right. After that, just kind of look at ahead. We got a June 13th event, but quickly we have another one June 22nd. So these are the only 2 events that we have in the month of June. And this one right here, again, we're talking 27 signups today. There is no field max. So I'm not telling you like this one to sign up early to avoid getting shut out, but there's certainly going to be a max somewhere. There's 120 players I feel like we can put on the course. In years past, respectively, these are the numbers when we combine ourselves between the Queen City and the Capital City Tours. So I really feel like we're going to achieve well over 100 players in this event. If we come close to that 120, that might be the mark that's set for field max. Very, very great entry rate here of $110 for a premier and exclusive course. So this kind of event here, it's going to be tee times based on today's information, beginning at 8 a.m. all the way to 3. You know what? I got to share with you the reason why, or the reason this day was chosen, if I'm not mistaken, as far as the seasons, how they fall, is that this is the longest day of the year, where the solstice, if you understand all that stuff up in the galaxies, it's the longest day of the year. So it's the day where there was the most sunlight. So teeing off at 3 o'clock in a tournament round of golf, even if we allow for 5 hours at the very longest, getting done at 8 o'clock, sunset's not really till about 8:45, maybe even 9. So that is why this event was chosen on this day, to have this many players, even with consideration of sunlight. So that's looking ahead. Next, we're going to jump into the fairway. Again, this is kind of where this is the point of the show where it can go anyway. So I can tell you that profiles and handicaps, when I was out on the database, pardon me. So I'm gonna slide this over. This is my database. This is the copy that I'm able to work from that's connected between me and you. So in the past 7 days, this area right here inside the Players Club, I changed it from profiles to now read handicaps. And the reason doing that, I feel like, you know, that would better, that's the way it should read. So if we jump in here, the profiles now are going to handicaps. This is where all pre-existing handicaps are located. So if you're a player on this tour and you've completed an event, I'm able to calculate a differential for you. How those differentials are used, I kind of detailed how they're going to work, when a profile is created, basically at the conclusion of the tournament, and then a revision of your handicap will occur on or around the 2nd of every month. So if you're, what that means is if you played in a couple recent events and you either shot good, bad, or in the middle, and a revision suggests that whatever the update of your handicap tour index is, if you perform well enough to where you graduate or become promoted to the higher flight, you will then be placed in that higher flight and will remain there the rest of the season. If your handicap happens to slide and it allows for you to request being moved down a flight, you may do that, and then effectively for the next and upcoming tournament, you can be placed in that flight. So between now, I mean, I can start working on this now, and that's kind of what the intent is. You don't have to wait till the 2nd of the month because there's no event between now and the end of the month, and our next event is June 13th. So you're going to start seeing this, and I hope to have it all up to date by the 2nd, so that way you can make the decision what flight you want to be in for the event on June 13th. So as we're in here, took me a heavy amount of time to put all the stuff in here, but it's certainly kind of just laid out from those who played on the Golf Channel. These are all your historical scores. These are all active rounds used to generate your current tour index. You can kind of see here some of this event right here, which was our shortened event at the Country Club in Murpheville Village. I won't be able to use this score for Mr. Tom Beckman. However, someone who did complete 18 holes, such as Dwayne Broderick here, his differential is 15.5. It's not used yet because it hasn't underwent a revision. But, you know, there's a couple neat features here. You know, if we go down to the Ds, you can kind of see where, you know, right here, so you can navigate that quickly. You can go back up to the top. And then also too here, since we just had this event here, if you click on the number 2, it'll take you to the results page, and you can kind of identify where Chris Berry finished here. You can kind of locate, look at his route, and you can jump back and forth and go back to handicaps and, you know, continue where you left off. So that's pretty neat. That was an add-on since the last time we did some tour talk. The buttons up here, which are fixed, as I froze those rows, you can jump back out to the dashboard, get right back into the results section, or you can go right back into the event that we have, which is Zanesville Country Club coming up. So, all right, jumping out to our show here. Let me get back to it. So that kind of covers the profiles and handicaps. Next, we're going to talk about something that happened over the weekend. You know, what we were kind of approaching was the tour page and its following. We were nearing around 565 likes and follows. So, you know, with a promotion, I kind of pushed out there that once the tour reached 575 likes, I'd be giving away 5 $75 New Era gift cards, which are redeemable and can be used at any of the New Era golf courses and properties. They included Royal American, Glen Ross, New Albany Links, Golf Club of Dublin, Clover Valley, and I think I might be forgetting one, but I may have mentioned all of them. And we did that, and how the drawing worked was it was based off the number of people who left recommendations, right? So if you left a recommendation of the tour, which many of you have, many upon many members have recommended how amazing this tour is. You were kind of entered into that contest. Why am I going to the Facebook page? I didn't mean to do that. I meant to go to the database because that's where everything is. So if you landed here on the home page, which is the dashboard of this database, you kind of went down here to the 575 giveaway. This kind of really shows you how, what the giveaway was about, how it worked. So basically, once we reached 575 likes, anyone who had made a recommendation to the tour would be entered into this drawing. So it kind of required two things here, but nonetheless, it's free. All it probably required was a little effort and you just to type out how you really felt, which 30 of you took that time and sometime before recommending this tour. So what I did was I just used those 30 names and kind of wanted to do it as random as it could possibly be, and then obviously share in and have it be a part of what the Mega Millions is. So I did was give each player 2 numbers of the 30, and then there was 10 extra numbers because there's 70 balls, which would go into Ghost. And then if those balls were drawn, of those 10, I would contribute $25 each to the Family Readiness Program that's out at the 121st Air Refueling Wing here in the Ohio National Guard. So what happened was we did, no matter what, somebody was getting something. So what turned out was last night, Tuesday, May 26th, at 11 p.m., the Mega Millions drawing had happened, and these were the numbers that were drawn. And we had 34, which went to one of our Ghost numbers to the Family Readiness Program. 52 here, the next number was to Tony Burbridge. 58, which went to, again, the Family Readiness Program, $25. We have 59, Mr. Don Haley. So he was going to receive $75 New Era gift card. 62, Mr. Robert Shively. And then our last number here, which again was the Powerball number, but nonetheless, it was 6 balls that I was given chances to, goes out to Mr. Bob Labedy. So congratulations to those 4 members. Each are going to receive a $75 New Era gift card. And then also $50 will be donated to the, again, men and women at the 121st supporting the Airmen in Readiness Program. So congratulations to our winners, and proceeds of those $50 out to our military. And obviously having a Memorial Day weekend is for the great sacrifice. It's for those servicemen and women do for our country to give us the liberty and freedoms that we all have, to include the love of the game of golf that we enjoy playing. So hats off to that. And again, more drawings to come later, but I'm gonna keep inside that pool of those who recommend the tour. I mean, you understand the power of social media, and as much as I can sit here and can promote and talk about the tour and what the highs and greatness of it is, I think there's a lot of stories to be had with the players that are on this tour that you out there in the public can connect with. And that might get you to play on this tour. And that's kind of the effort that I'm trying to, create momentum behind. So, all right, we jump out, back out to the dashboard. So we'll pick up where we left off. We were out in the fairway. So we'll keep it going. We're going to go next to signing up. So many times I get people, new members particularly, asking this question. And for others who probably didn't play in our first 2 events and now are kind of on board, especially since these restrictions are becoming lifted, it's inviting and welcoming them out. And this is how you pay. This is how you enter the event. All the events are cashless. So, how this is now being set up is you are to use any of the 3 pay options, which include Zelle, Google Pay, and again, PayPal, friends or family, and sending it to them my cell phone number. So if you're familiar or not familiar with those pay apps, these are the instructions right here. Each of those event pages that we were out browsing on the dashboard includes the same information that was highlighted. When you do that, be sure you can mention the tournament, your name, in case I don't have it in my contact list. So that way it helps me confirm the alert for deposit, and then I can send you your confirmation. Outside of that, if you're a player that says, man, I'm all in, I just want to sign up for every single event. Listen, you don't have to do 6 transactions. You can do 1 single transaction, just make sure the math is right. And then if it, again, if it totals up and it's the same to me, again, I'll confirm that entry, and then I'll update the web link, and within minutes, you'll see your name appear on the active player roster. So again, so now the optional side games, we started covering some of that earlier. The optional side games are separate. So it's going to kind of make you do 2 transactions if you want to enter these events, if you're interested in both. So why that is so is because, the entry and the optional side games must be separated. The purpose behind that is that, it violates your amateur status if the 2 are combined. it would indicate that you're paying for cash, which you're not, because we're not pros at this. And to combine those two pots would suggest so. So please honor the separation of these funds. Again, it's set up that way, so that way it can be paid out in the same manner I receive it. So all optional side games, that's a segregated and separated funds, and then everything else with the entry goes for the trophy expense, the prize fund expense, the course, everything else that you see here, so that way those don't come together. All right, it's called a misappropriation of funds if you're kind of in the government and financial world. So we don't want to involve ourselves with that. We want to avoid it entirely. And again, that's what I ask of you. If you kind of make some mistakes, I'll help you out, and then we can move along. All right, so next one here, we have the Tour Championship. Why that's a topic, I know it's at the end of the season, but you know, there's some interest from you golfers out there that say, hey, listen, there's some courses on your schedule that I would like to play. And particularly why this one is because Mount Vernon Country Club and both Columbus Country Club are connected on a 2-day, our season-ending Tour Championship. And right now, again, it's a 2-day event, but there's some interest that people have in just one of those events. If you're interested, interest is great to talk about, but when it really comes down to it, it's who pays. And priority will go to those who are entered in the 2-day championship. But if that doesn't fill up, it will go to those who are on the waiting list. So if you're a member or if you're a golfer that's out there and you only want to play Mount Vernon Country Club, the only way that I can manage your entrant to the field is if I have you on a standby or a waiting list. So again, if you don't make the field, you're getting your money back. If you are on a waiting list, that puts me in a position to manage your entrant or negotiate room on the course to get you in another cart or to allow you to walk. So I can't do it on interest alone. I can't do it if even if it says, hey, something comes up. You're not the person I'm thinking of. How I manage these events is who's on the waiting list. So by all means, all I'm asking you to do is sign up early. Again, if you don't make it to the field, you get money back, and there's just no risk. So yeah, so sign up early, get your name on the entry list, and then again, you can manage your entry from there. So we're going to back up a little bit. There was one or two things. So we were talking about navigating to the dashboard, that database, the web link, whatever you want to call it now. I've used a couple names for it. There's some issues that folks were having where they only have a mobile phone, a smartphone or what have you. And, you know, when they open it up, you know, desktop Excel or Microsoft Office product, it's an Excel database. So if it doesn't launch well, or it's blank when it gets to your phone, there's some things you have to do. So there's some steps for Android and iPhone users. And we'll start with the Android. So I'm an Android. This is what you got to do. If you're accessing or connecting to this link, like say here, if you go to the Facebook website tour page and then you click on the website, it'll launch a blank screen. Kind of what you see over here in this shaded area. So first thing is Android. The first step is you click those little 3 dots over there. And what happens after that is this little drop-down menu appears. What you need to do is click this box here that says desktop site. And shortly after that, the phone will automatically refresh itself. It should update, and then all those buttons would appear. This is simply activating it in a desktop mode, and it's enabling those cookies. Those buttons that that didn't appear now do. So you got to do that. And you're not alone. If you're hearing this for the first time, you're not alone. There's several of us out there that just didn't know this thing existed. So to do that, just go ahead and enable that. Now, if you're kind of like quick to it, you can click this box right here, and you can just navigate to the tabs if you know what you're doing and what you're looking for. But in its normal view, the way I intend for you to look at it, click these 3 dots, desktop site, magic. Those are Androids. So what about my iPhone users? So if you're an iPhone user, okay, Android only had 2 steps. iPhone, man, you probably got like 5, maybe 6 steps to do. So what you first want to do is you want to log on to www.facebook.com in a new browser. So if it's Safari or whatever browser is your choice, you got to www.facebook.com. What should appear is, I have to see the Facebook page, but then keyword search at the capital city amateur tour, and it should land you here. Once you get here, you're kind of looking on this home row here of all the categories that are on the tour page. You want to navigate to the About section. There's a couple of the ways, but let me just single on the About section. It's in here, and then when you click on the About, this is the next page that should appear for you. This is the website that I speak of. It has a little globe on it, and there's a URL. It's a funky alphanumeric, a lot of characters here. This launches the file share document. When that occurs, this is what will happen next. The Excel will try to launch. And again, it won't do its job. So what you have to do is you have to click on the lowercase and uppercase A that's in your address bar. And then what will pop open is this request desktop website. When you do that, magic happens. The buttons will work, the document will load, and you're able to navigate the way I intend for you to see it. All right. So again, let's go back out here. I want to get you to the database. We'll browse a little couple more features, and we'll kind of wrap up and then go to our when we're going to meet again. So let me get this into view. Okay. Kind of blow this up one more time. All right. So where we can go now is statistics. So since the last time we were here in Tour Talk, the Mount Vernon Country Club event, you can kind of see here the course statistics for that event. I'll blow that up so you can all see it. Kind of just shows you the rank, normal stuff that you would see on a roll-up report when you're looking at how difficult the holes were based on this tour, based on the conditions of that day, which holes were the toughest and which holes were the easiest. You kind of see here we had a shortened event, so not all players finished all 18 holes. So that's why you see a field that we had of 72. Not all of us scored all 18 holes. So all that stuff is calculated and taken into consideration there. If you jump out the statistics, the shaker run is not completed yet. And that is due to I am waiting for the results of the event to include which tees every flight played from. Again, I was not the host of the event. I didn't organize it, so I'm waiting for that director to provide me the tee assignments for each flight. Once I get that information, I'm then able to use the yardage and calculate your differentials, which then will also lead to the statistics to be updated. That's how it works. So once again, that event was a higher Ryder Cup. You know, man, if you're browsing around this stuff, there's a lot of stuff out here for you to see. I think it's pretty cool for you to look at and get familiar with. So this was last year's Ryder Cup, some archive as to, what that day looked like. We had shirts made. I mean, man, we looked awesome. We were looking good. We're talking embroidered names on the collars. Check this stuff out, man. We had embroidered names on the collars. We had the state of Ohio, Team Columbus. You can kind of see us hoisting the trophy right there. I mean, Cincinnati, Queen City, Emmy Shore. You had name embroidered on the shirt. Man, this was an awesome day. Weather was awesome. But you kind of see some of that archive here, a little write-up as how we won. And then here are the events that we have that make up the 2020 Ryder Cup Series. So again, that information's out there. We were in the handicaps. I jumped back into it just real quick. When you're out here, you can kind of see if you find yourself the name and you already competed in an event. I've added a token out here to recognize those who were prior champions for season, the flight season champions. You see that there, a little statistic bar up here, how many events you played so far this year if you finish in the top 3. Kind of just Google eye stuff, peer-to-peer review. This is so important. As we transition from Golf Channel now to Capital City, this is what's most important. It's the backbone as to how a tour can work based on handicaps when you have prized events. This is still managed, and it's right here. This is so important that I share with you guys and circle back to this before we finish up. How you can still perform peer-to-peer review, which is key and essential to operating and having a great tour. And many of you out there, you're liking it. You're going to like it more. That to know that this is occurring. So when we were teasing with, there was something I was trying to showcase to you guys. So when we're in here, right? So this is me. I'm on the admin page here, or admin role. So what I was doing and showing to you was, let's go to an event with a smaller field so we can see it better. Let's go to Pinnacle. Let's go out to Pinnacle. And Bam, here we go. So we landed at the Pinnacle site page here. So what I want you to do is just take a look at, we'll choose out Hogan, right? So look at this number 4, right? So if I put in a player and I select Hogan, bam, it went up to 5. You see the total players jump to 28. This is pretty neat, man. I just, designed it, formula based. So it toggles. Once again, I'm gonna do it. We're going to Palmer, enter the Palmer player. That jumped to 28. You jump back out to the scheduled event pages. That jumped to 28, right? So the information is wired. It's wired in. And then because it's Palmer, okay, check this number here, 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 and here. And I start putting X's. So if you enter in those optional side games, bam, it went to 3. The pot jumped. It went to 11 for super skins. It went to 3 for flight last man standing. And it went to 8 for super last man standing. So all this stuff right here, I just take it out, right? Because the person's not really there, it's a ghost. But it kind of shows you the wizard, the levers that are being pulled behind the curtain, so that when you see this, again, once you're out here, it's a connection. This database, it operates just like a website. It's just, these are the levers that pull what you see. That's the product behind the curtain. This is kind of what your membership is on the Capital City Amateur Tour. I feel like this information is what all players who play tournament golf desire. Again, that peer-to-peer review, the results, the statistics. When I sign up for an event, or if I'm interested in signing up for an event, I want to know what tees I'm playing from. I want to know how much it is. I want to know who is currently on the active player roster. Once registration closes, I notify all those who are entered the event. I kind of detail them what's to occur over the next days leading up to an event, the day of the event, and what's to occur after the tournament. Pairings are going to be posted right here. Man, this is all the information. So if there's something out here that you feel that's not, that you feel like should be, obviously we're dealing with some size limits, but it's out here for you to navigate, get familiar with. Last but not least, again, we're here on Tour Talk. These are the episodes that I kind of have on YouTube, so that way you can kind of listen to what I want to show you, so that way if you kind of have trouble reading it all, what you need to take away from it, it's all right here. But these are all the episodes. If you ever kind of wonder where can I find the other episodes, they're all linked right here. You click on here, they'll launch the YouTube site and you can begin watching. If you feel like you don't ever want to miss one of these episodes, just go ahead and subscribe to the channel once you land on the YouTube page. All right, so that's kind of all I have right now. We're kind of going to get out of the month of May, and next time we see each other again will be next week, June 3rd, 7 o'clock. So again, this is Jacob Bridges on the Capital City Amateur Tour, your tour director, coming to you from Columbus, Ohio, the #1 amateur tour in the Greater Columbus and Central Ohio area. Till next time, see you in the fairway. You're on the course. Take care. So long.